All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie, give our review, 2 cents on The Way of the Wicked.
To clarify, the Way of the Wicked from 2014 with Christian Slater and Vinnie Jones.
Yes, and I love Vinnie Jones.
I know,
and I'm pretty into Christian Slater as well. So
I'm not sleeping on Christian Slater
from the
either.
cover. This is like a slam dunk. I'm like, all right, what's this? Let's not even read the back. Let's just watch it, and that's what I did. And
hold on. So I take notes when I watch these things. These are my notes. I wrote down the quote from the intro like card. When the sons of the fallen came upon the daughters of men, they bore the way of the wicked. And my next note is, oh no! Because the movie starts and I immediately go, my not a real movie sensors start to go off.
Yeah.
Like the first shot is weird and clunky, and it's Christian Slater going to a house and stuff, and his windshield wipers are doing this weird thing that they shouldn't be doing, and the quality of the footage and the way the shots are blocked or whatever is bad, and I'm like, it's the lighting stuff's weird. It looks like a movie, you had a good camera, you filmed it properly or something, but it's sirens going off. This is not a real movie. What are you doing?
No, and it very quickly becomes apparent. And I'm watching it, and you see Christian Bale. You see Christian Slater.
I wish you saw Christian Bale.
You see Christian Slater, and I'm like, okay, how long is he going to be in this movie for? Because I'm feeling it's not real. Yeah. And then you don't see him for a little while, and I was like, I think he might be done. And then for a moment, you see what looks like a different redheaded pastor somewhere else, and I'm like, oh, is it going to cut forward like 10 years, and it's going to be a differerent person? Because that would be crafty.
Because he's on the box.
Yes.
Mostly him, only him, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
When Vinnie Jones is clearly in it more, he's more of the actual main character
of the movie.
And it's very weird.
Where do you want to attack this from first?
So the movie is about a.
Should we say if it's good or bad? Get that out of the way.
This movie is shit.
I agree. And let's tell you why now.
So the movie, okay, so just to run down why it's bad right quick, before I even give a summary of the movie.
I don't know.
I can do it. So the movie is about a character who, as a young age, is dating Vinnie Jones's daughter. Dating, hanging out, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
They are getting, get picked on, and bam, you see some, voodoo juju stuff happen, and the boy that's picking on him is killed without ever getting a hand laid on him for some telekinetic craziness. And you're like, okay, that was bad. And it proceeds
and this continues
later.
For the entire time.
Yes.
Well, so the flashback is Christian Slater questioning this boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you wish for him to die? Did you want him to die? Because he thinks this boy has the power curse. Yeah, he's got some whatever thing going on. He got the shining, and he can do this stuff or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's our setup.
Yes, and then we see X amount of years later, which turns out to only be 5 years later or 6 years later or something.
She says 5 years at one point.
Something we're like, what? You look so different? It doesn't make any sense.
And at one point, he says we had to move, and when they go to the mom's house, they film in the doorway because they don't have another house.
Yeah.
This is we made this movie. But had a camera of today, and we got younger, and we just made a movie, and somehow we got Vinnie Jones and Christian Slater. That's the level we're at.
But you kind of wonder how they did get Vinnie Jones and Christian Slater in this. I know. Because that's weird. So
they'll do anything at this point.
The boy who comes back into our life, who is now a rebel. He's got his leather jacket and his bad haircut. Looks a lot like Vinnie Jones.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I'm like that guy should be casted as Vinnie Jones's kid, much more than this the girl that is Vinnie Jones's kid.
Yeah.
Because even when you see the mother, you're like, where'd that girl come from? They don't look like whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
Not super important. Just something that I was thinking about.
No, I like it.
There's this a series of tells throughout the movie that can predict this bad ending.
Oh, you predicted this?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't predict this. I wasn't happy about it, but I didn't predict it.
Oh, the ending. I was mad to be right.
Okay.
But I was.
I didn't have any predictions anyway. I was just waiting for it to stop.
They framed the whole movie that this boy is a telekinetic with evil demon powers that are inconsistent that can strike from any distance, it seems. But really turns out to be the girl
the whole time.
And you're like, oh my, how could I have ever predicted this? I don't know. Maybe the idea that why would this kid have a gun at all? Why did he let people beat the shit out of him in the locker room? There's these things where I was like when they first hit him in there, I was like, huh, he let that hit happen? Why would he do that? Is he planning on killing him? Because if he's planning on killing him, that's kind of dumb. Did he want to have proof that it was a fair fight? Because they're going to die by choking on their own tongues.
So, here's my issue, is that the way that character does the performance, he's acting like he's killing these people with his demon powers and is playing it off or whatever, right? When in reality, he should be acting like, oh no, the thing that happened like once when I was a kid is back. And what the hell? I came back to this town,
it's bad
right?
Script.
It doesn't work when you go back. That's why there was no, like, I didn't predict anything. Like, I just thought he, like, doesn't want to use his powers because he just used it and it was causing problems. And then they hit him and, like, he, like, got emotional and, like, had to use his powers or whatever. I don't know.
From like, there's scenes where, like, he physically abused, like, he attacks the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, you know, whatever, the one that's dating the girl in the woods. He, like, sneaks up on him after he witnesses, like, her, like, you know, like, push him off and knee him in the nuts or whatever.
Yeah.
He, like, punches him twice and just says, like, leave her alone, and then leaves. And then, like, it cuts to, like, a wheat thresher or something.
He loved
like,
that wheat
turning
thresher.
on, like, the light turns on, which maybe it still had a battery, and that could happen, but they, like, say very, like, it has no power.
It has no engine.
It can't
How
work.
could it get here?
But still, it is the most silent thing in the world.
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy doesn't hear it sneaking up on him. And, like, Austin Powers falls and just stays on the ground for so long. It was just a matter of, like, that could have been something done well, but it wasn't.
When that happened, it made me go like, okay, that's where we're at. And he gets ground to a fine mist. There's just nothing left of him or whatever. Like we could, and maybe we should go like scene by scene at some point in this movie because it's so bad. Nothing works in the entire movie. Everything is bad. There's nothing right with anything.
No, well,
the whole thing is
from
awful.
the beginning it's bad because you have a movie that is like not an action-y movie, not a real horror movie.
Yes.
It's kind of just a drama, and already that's bad because you cast Vinnie Jones as one of your main characters, and Vinnie Jones is one of my favorite actors. I love this dude, and I think he's so good at what he does. And what he does is not be a wine-sipping like sissy boy.
Well, what is Vinnie Jones known for? Googling things, reading books. Talking to his daughter over dinner.
Putting glasses on so you could see.
Putting his glasses on like my grandma and like paging someone. Like exactly.
He's the juggernaut, bitch.
He's the juggernaut, bitch.
Like he clubs people down. He teaches his son how to like do like things. Like he's a dude that does like awesome physical stuff. Like in almost all of his notable roles.
And he might be getting too old for that, but a bunch of people that are too old for that have found niches in roles where they are functioning within like an action movie setup.
Yeah.
And they are delivering the lines and doing the things and whatevering, right?
Yeah.
So just do that. Be like the older cop, but there's a younger
even
cop.
If you're gonna keep it exactly how it was, change nothing, maybe have Vinnie Jones play the priest and have Christian Slater play the dad. Because
there you go.
At least that makes a little more sense to me.
Right.
I don't know, because it seemed odd.
The point is you don't get Vinnie Jones to do this type of stuff. This doesn't make sense.
No.
At one point, Christian Slater presents him with a duffel bag full of books, which he goes home and then reads.
Yeah.
Like this is the most insane beat.
But it's like
to
a
have.
duffel bag of like 1,000-year-old books. So you're like, is this how you're transporting 1,000-year-old
books? There you go. All the books. He comes in with 2 giant bags, and like. There's a line when he calls him on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I've got the copy of the book I gave you right here. No, I see it. Like turn to page 46." They have to do some weird things. It's like you have the book now. You gave him the book. He's reading the book. He just called you because he read. Like everything is wrong with this movie. It's so good.
When you think back,
I love this
kid,
movie.
when you're certain the kid has no powers, the love interest rebel, former was there, whatever. He's the most ballsy, dangerous person you'd ever want to be dating your daughter. He's clearly a psychopath.
He must be.
He like taunts you like you're nothing, like just insulting everyone, doing all this shit, and his character turns like on a dime. Because originally he's like this good. Oh, he's the introspective bad boy. He's probably a poet.
Playing with
he does
her
this
hair.
and that.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows the answers to the science questions. And then it's like, I'm a thug. Marilyn Manson's playing. I do whatever I want. Like, and it's just. It's like, pick a side.
I'm doing this for you, he says, as he goes to shoot her dad, who has done nothing but like try to protect her from like persecution by the police and like getting into the bad situation.
I almost wanted there to be some more deeper thing, like maybe they both have powers. Maybe he killed her mother in that, because like you see from where she attempted to kill Christian Slater and then killed Christian Slater from where you don't like it's just.
Do they even
that car business? I don't think they ever call back to the car one. I think they call back to the choking with the rosary.
And her head is like poking through a hole in the wall, like a window that's partially covered, so it looks so goofy. It's amazing.
I didn't even take that to be what
Okay.
it was. I took that to be just poor CG, like compositing. Like
Yeah.
she's actually over there, but we're just gonna show her like in this fucking stupid horrible thing.
Great.
Like that's one of those like, this is so bad I don't know what's going on moments.
I can't tell what you're going for here, movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I basically wrote down all the beats of this movie, and I was like furious the entire time.
No, I
have
was
no idea what's
I was
going on.
very disappointed in this movie because I went into it very optimistic. I like the
That's a
characters.
mistake.
Whenever you have like a character you're like, all right, there's a chance this could be crap because, actors in general need money and they do things and some things are below them and this, that, and the other thing. But when you have two actors that like, I'm like, I respect you. Like Christian Slater's, and nothing against you, Christian Slater, you can rent free whenever you want. But
VIP pass.
you're kind of you in a lot of things. Like you do kind of a Jack Nicholson impression, but I like it. It works for you. But this was not that. This was something else.
Did we peep the IMDb's? Do we see, is he just doing like every movie now? Does he have to pay off debt or something like that?
I've not seen anything along those lines.
Okay.
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like do like Heather's 8 or something.
This is a classic example of like people. Bruce Willis has been doing this, right?
Yeah.
You see his big old head on the box, and you're like, oh yeah, a name I can trust. And you get burned a few times, and then a decade goes by, and you're like,
it's
oh,
so
well.
weird though because if you're a name like when he's like Christian Slater,
Yeah.
like probably since like Alone in the Dark, I've been like Christian Slater, like
Christian Slater.
But if you rose the
True
ranks to
romance.
be a respected actor, you're in things, people know your name, you're like a mega star, your name means something, you call for a reservation, you get it. Why on the like end of your career, and not to say you're old and you're gonna stop soon, but like if you keep doing this, you're at the end of your career. And it seems like he's like diving it down.
Yeah, like why end it this way?
I don't know.
I would do like experimental things for fun to like stretch and like take risks and callbacks to what I was known for, right?
But I also can understand.
Who's doing that? Arnold, Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, like all these different people are like, let's do some fan service over here,
But he
and
did
then
like
let's loop
Archer
around.
and stuff, and that was fun.
Okay.
And I can understand
Things like that, though,
these
yeah.
like 1-day shoots, 2-day shoots, week shoots to get a paycheck and get out. Like, I can buy another house. Yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Bang.
And I don't know what the budget of this movie was.
I wonder. I don't know.
I couldn't
Didn't seem
see
like
it.
there was a lot.
I can't imagine that it is anything remotely, whatever. The guy, I believe the guy that wrote this is the guy that played his cop friend.
Detective Fleming.
Yeah.
I caught that as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why are you in this movie? Tick, 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 tick. Oh, it's because you're the writer.
Yeah.
And he wrote some other stuff. It's like directed by no one apparently. He has like 4 credits to his name.
Yeah,
It's
and they're
nothing.
shorts, I think.
Well, there's 4
Actually,
like
I think I
not
did see
shorts.
I think the budget was like $3 million on this.
Well,
I think I did see the budget.
It's I don't know if I trust anything with anything. It's a puzzle. This is like a puzzle to me. How this came about. This is your classic like weird movie you get 2 copies of and you go like, oh, that was garbage. Good. Let's shovel that over here or whatever, right?
Yeah.
How do these things still exist? In 2014, what were you doing? Christian Slater and Vinnie Jones were making this.
Yeah. So I'm thumbs downing this.
This is a major thumbs down. We could go on for literally ever. I think everything that happens in this movie is worthy of bringing up to be like, that was so bad.
Yeah, and it's just...
Can you think of anything that's like...
No, and his friends.
Redeeming?
If I'm his friends, I'm like, yeah, I'd probably be dead. Because, there's no way he didn't, as far as the movie's painted it, there's no way that this telekinetic kid didn't just murder, attemptedly murder your friend right in front of you and then finish a job later. I'm like, I would definitely have had to have had words or do something with him. I'm like, and then I would have got, neck snapped by a telekinetic girl.
Yeah.
It's just, a lot of this was weird. And I thought the casting was weird where I almost think that the bad kid, the one with the convertible, his best friend, maybe could have played a better, leather jacket guy. There was something weird with, the things, because the situation, they don't line up. Usually it's like a tough guy and a strong guy, or a big guy and a this guy, and a blah, blah, and a this. But, I didn't get...
Vince Noir and Howard Moon.
I didn't get anything from this leather kid that I'd be like, okay, if you didn't have powers, you just have no chance in a lot of these fights. That the kid that was the varsity jacket kid was double his size.
Yeah, he was much bigger than
he
him.
looked
He was
like
really
a
dumb.
monster by comparison.
Yeah.
There would be no fight to be had.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, a good fighter can beat a big guy any day of the week, blah, blah, blah.
They're kids.
These are high school idiots, and
Yeah.
it would 100% be like, oh, and the guy would be like, my head.
Yeah, I mean, he's been away. What has he been doing? He comes back.
No, he's
again,
no
like
friends.
the fact that he's not like think about how much more interesting of a movie we have if he's freaking out. Like I thought I had this under control. I worked so hard to make sure this would never happen again, and now it's happening again. She's like, oh, it's okay, and you're like, oh, and like plants the seeds for this whole thing. Yeah,
like he thinks it's him, but it's not. That would be great.
And then you can look back and like find out that she's like creating situations or egging it on. It shows her behind his back, like talking, like he's being really creepy and all that stuff, and doing all this dumb stuff to
and wouldn't you have
move
liked
all the
her
pieces.
to have killed her mom?
Or something. They don't even
because of how well they
don't even go
framed
back
the
to that,
Christian
right?
Slater death or attempted murder rather.
Yes.
I'm like, well, that seems to be exactly what happened to the mom.
Yeah.
But they never say anything. I'm like, maybe you could have done a thing like, oh, she knew, she had the power too, or this and that, or the priest talked to her, and she thought she noticed something, and you had to...
Exactly. Something has to happen. Real quick, just so I don't, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Van Jones is like, Robbie Mueller, why do I know that name? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, this is an unsolved, mysterious murder from 5 years ago
At that
in
moment,
your
you
town.
don't know that he's a cop.
I know.
And then when they say he's a cop, I'm like...
And
Are you kidding me? This was your daughter's friend.
Yes.
Probably was at your house.
Who died.
He committed a murder potentially.
Yes.
And
And
it was only 5 years ago.
And your daughter has to tell you, he was the kid from 5 years ago that was at that murder that I was at and got all the blame for no reason. She has to, like, explain this to her own father. That's so insane to me. Yeah. And, like, part of you is like, well, he's a cop, but he's whatever. No, when the other kid dies, he's on the scene.
Yeah.
Like, he's a cop there, like, still. And then you're like, well, maybe they didn't live there, or they had just, well, you were born 2 years after my mom and I came across the pond. Like, they do all this stuff to, like, work themselves into, like, a worse, where there's no benefit of the doubt whatsoever. They also, from, like, a screenplay perspective, okay, so stuff's happening. We're getting weird telekinetic kids. Things are doing their thing or whatever. The science teacher is talking about the Drake equation and, like, life on other planets and, like, the possibility of things like that.
Why do they do that?
And I'm like, that could only be in there, and again, you either have to pay it off, that, like, he's an alien or she's an alien, or you have to do the opposite of paying it off.
Yeah.
And have some scene about how I thought there was so much more to it, but it's so simple, we're all just gonna die. Like, do something.
Yes.
Don't just set this up and do nothing.
Like, that seems like a clear misnomer. Like, why are you doing that?
Just like wasted screenplay stuff that has nothing to do with anything.
I liked the teacher.
Medieval torture and all that
stuff.
stuff.
I thought the teacher delivered a good line. But that's what I'm saying. The kid's just the most brazen, ballsy idiot because he has nothing. And he's not only is he taunting the father of the girl he's like going out with, which would already be dumb. Because, like, A, it could cause trouble between you and the girl.
Yes.
A father could go crazy and just kill you. He's also a cop who suspected you of murder.
Which you should know.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so amazing.
And you're like looking up torture, which presumably was actually for a report because that's not something you actually do.
Again, like, if the deaths had weird, like, imagine another movie where people are dying in like weird ways, where stuff's like going through them, or some weird things are happening that are kind of torture.
Hellraiser-y stuff.
Yeah, and then we have a thing, right? But, like, I don't even know why you would put these things in there unless they meant something. What are you doing?
Well, you're like, this will be clever. People will think this. Perfect.
You have to have both bookends, or else you just have a bookend and a tumbled over pile of books.
Well, that's why they
nothing
filed
in there.
so hard trying to get you to believe this thing that you would have naturally believed without anything. Why did you do this?
Yeah, and, like, the twist, right? So I didn't see it coming.
The twist.
And I was like, what's going on here or whatever. But yeah.
Even with nothing, even if there was no
that,
foreshadowing to this twist, it is the worst, let me just quick end the movie twist I've ever seen in my life.
And then you, like, have time to, like, reflect. So what's happening? Okay, she tells him, she confesses, oh yeah, it's been me. Kill all these people. And he's like, okay, I'm going to cover up this murder, and then we're going back to jolly old England. And that's the resolution, right?
Yep.
And there's no, like bookend text card. There's no hint that, like, he's either been in on it or there's any reason for him to behave this way. There's nothing. He
was there to stop an Antichrist, and when he finds out it's his own daughter, he's like, that's fine.
He's like, that's cool.
I'm Vinny Jones.
Right? He was just starting to, like, maybe believe in his stuff or something like that. You could have had some awesome thing where some of the words that Christian Slater said to him mean something different now, or some cool thing, or, like, the inscription on the gravestone could have been revealed to be some portentous
you could have said
thing.
how they were born on the same day or something, because that was so important to Christian Slater's character that it didn't seem to, like, you think.
Oh God.
You'd think him being the worst cop ever or whatever would be like, wait a minute, my daughter was born on that day
We're
too.
finding more things. I have so many notes of bad things, and this wasn't one of them. There's so many bad things in this movie. Yeah. right? Those are just like the main things that like come
it's
to
not
mind
even
that I
worth
don't want to
ripping
move on. Right.
any deeper because
I
if the
know.
biggest points are unsolved and stupid,
Yeah, exactly.
the little things don't matter at all.
And
This
they-
movie's just,
well-
it's not even fun. Like it's not even it's not even a movie where I'm like, oh, it's
Yes.
bad, but like, oh, these scenes are good, the acting is good, this and that. I'm like, no, it's miscasted, it's poorly written, it's poorly acted, it's shot like, and
Well, like
that's
the
about
shooting, right? So it has a, like like a thing where people who aren't paying attention when they watch movies would be like, well, this was a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Which is awful. It's like this is the so bad it's bad thing where
Yeah.
like there's no fun, there's no redemptive thing.
No.
People die in these ways where you're just like, in some other movie with some other treatment towards all this, something could be a thing.
It's
but-
mostly nothing deaths, really.
right. Or not even deaths, just weird things.
Yeah.
Scenes end and then pick up again in this weird flow that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I hated this movie.
Yeah, no, I was like, this was a chore.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, why is this happening? Why is this movie so bad? It's a slow day and I'm watching slow movies.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah, all right, guys.
grueling.
That's 2 thumbs down, obviously, for this movie. Let us know in the comments below. Have you seen this one? What did you think about it? Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.